Hi, Mick Cullen again, and welcome to the second in a series of guitar lessons. And in part one we had a look at the guitar and we identified all the different parts of the guitar, the nut, the bridge, the frets, the neck, fingerboard, body, headstock, tuners, etc. So if you weren't quite sure what those sort of things refer to, hopefully you do now. And in part two, I think you're now ready to learn your first chord, and that's going to be E major. So if you have your guitar at hand, let's get cracking straight away, shall we? Okay, E major. As you can see, we're playing this chord right at the lower end of the fingerboard, right up against the headstock. There's a bit of a bargain actually. You get a bargain with this chord because we're going to be actually plucking 6 strings, playing 6 strings. We're only going to be holding down 3 of them. So it's a bargain if you think about it. It's a bit like buy one get one free. Excellent job. And because 3 of these strings are in the open position, you always get that nice ring. You probably can't hear it through here through the camcorder, but it's a nice solid harmonic sounding chord. So let's take a look at that then, shall we? And we're going to start with this finger, and we're going to place that on the 5th string, just behind the 2nd fret. Our middle finger we place on the 4th string, also behind the 2nd fret. The first finger we place on the 3rd string, just behind the 1st fret. So we have our first finger on the 5th string, just behind the 2nd fret. Middle finger goes on the 4th string, just behind the 2nd fret. And this finger on the 3rd string, just behind the 1st fret. Now what we need to do is have our fingers as vertical as possible, with our fingertips coming down, making the contact with the string, pressing it down onto the fretboard. We don't have to press too heavy, because remember, it's the fret, as discussed in the first lesson, it's the fret that cuts the sounding part of the string off at the point where the fret is, not our finger as such. We need enough pressure on the string for the fret to do its job in stopping the string at that point. So you don't have to press so hard. You're in danger of forcing the string into the wood, but it needs to be heavy enough so you actually have a note rather than a sort of sign. Now, as I say, you need to keep your fingers as vertical as possible, and that means your hand needs to be well round like this with your fingers up. Now, because we're so close to the headstock, whereas your thumb would normally rest approximately centre at the back of the neck, the headstock is set back a little bit further than the neck. You can probably just see as it rises up there, which if you try to put your thumb across there, that would put even more strain on the muscle in your thumb, cause even more discomfort. So you'll probably find the best position for that is round about where that groove is. Now it may well try and come round this way. If you allow that to happen, there's a danger you could muffle that first string. And it would also allow these fingers to keel over a bit, because they'll be trying to lay down, lay flatter, because again it's going to be difficult for them. They need to be trained to get what you're effectively doing is it's an exercise for your fingers. It's something that they're not normally used to be doing. So this is going to take a bit of practice, and your fingers and thumb and probably your wrist are going to ache a little bit, but it's only practice, it's only keeping up doing it that will make that eventually fade away to nothing, and you'll do it without even thinking about it. But just keep an eye on this thumb, and you'll probably find the most comfortable position is just by that natural groove there where the headstock carries on. So the reason why we can play these strings open is, if you remember again in the we covered in the first lesson the notes which the strings make when they're played open, and if you remember, the first and the sixth are both tuned to E. So as we're playing an E chord, it's an E major, those strings can be played open. And the second string, the B, fits nicely into the progression of the chord, the makeup of the chord, so we can play that open as well. So as I say, we get 6 for the price of 3. So between now and the next lesson, got some practicing to do. Keep practicing until you can ring all those notes out. Keep these fingers up as vertical as you can, and just keep practicing. Okay, so there you have your very first chord, E major. Practice as much as you can. It's only practice that makes perfect. And because the next time around I'm going to be showing you 2 new chords. I'm going to show you how to play a bar chord, which is essential for electric guitar players. And I'm going to show you 2 bar chords. They are going to fit nicely with that E major that I showed you. So we can practice moving from one chord to the next and back again, and play a simple tune. So it's a huge step the next time round, so you've got some practicing to do. Keep practicing, get those fingers under control, and I'll see you next time round. I'm Mick Cullen, and have fun!